Okay, well, welcome everyone to the 2023 Spring Showers edition, April Showers edition of Dan Mack Presents Open Mic, virtual open mic. This is April the 3rd, and we are happy to have a bunch of our regulars here with us tonight. One is missing, who will be joining us in a few minutes, I believe. Matt Holston was going to be on here as well, but we've got a bunch of good musicians here to play some bunches of good music for you, and we're all happy about that. Hope everybody's has had as nice as lovely a spring day as we did here in Maryland. It was gorgeous, and I have this gigantic cherry tree right outside my house in the back, and I can look out right now and see all the cherries blossoms, and it's just really intense. So I don't even need to go down to the tidal basin to see my all my cherry blossoms. So with all that said, welcome again to April the 3rd, 2023 of Dan Mack Presents Virtual Open Mic. And I am now going to turn the show over to Gordon Knorr and Mike Roque, who are going to be my co-hosts tonight for a while. I have some other obligations here at the beginning, so I will be checking back in again in half an hour or so, and be playing some music for you at that time. And until then, I'm going to ask Gordon I'm going to spotlight Gordon, and he is going to be your host for the time being. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks very much, Mac. Dan, we look forward to seeing you again in a few minutes. Hi, everybody. I'm Gordon Knorr from Toronto, Ontario, alongside my friend Mike Roque from Maryland. We're filling in for Dan Mack a little bit this evening. We've got 10 players on deck. Should be done. I think our last player will be up a little around 8:30. And this is our spring edition. How is spring treating you there, Mike Roque?
Oh, it's warm and comfortable out here.
What was it like today in your part of Maryland?
Oh, it was cool in the morning, but it's very very nice and pleasant this afternoon. Not like over the weekend. It was very very windy.
Right. We were at, I have to think Celsius and Fahrenheit, we were at 13 degrees, which is sort of in the 50s today. We're almost to that point where it's not freezing overnight. So we got a little ways to go, but it's a lot more comfortable. I believe I'm first up this evening. Gonna start off with a tune from 1954 that wasn't ever really on my radar until I saw the movie Space Cowboys. And it's on at the very end of the film when Tommy Lee Jones flies the ship to the moon to avoid a nuclear catastrophe. Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song. Let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Song, let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In Thank you to everyone, especially Mike Roque, for those applause. Mike, you always clap louder than everybody else. Old James Taylor song from 1971 off the Mudslide Slim album. And I just lucked into finding this old video clip of him performing it live in England about a year before it was released. It didn't even have a title, but it became a very popular single from that album. Joni Mitchell's sang harmony with him, and Carole King played the piano. It was absolutely exquisite, and it was nice to revisit, and yet another song that's taken me 40 or 50 years to get around to playing. Long ago, a young man sits and plays his waiting game. But things are not the same, it seems, as in such tender dreams. Slowly passing sailing ships and Sunday afternoon, like people on the moon I see, are things not meant to be? Where do those golden rainbows end? Why is this song so sad? Dreaming the dreams I've dreamed, my friend. Loving the love I love to love is just a word I've heard when things are being said. Stories my poor head has told me cannot stand the cold, and in between what might have been and what has come to pass, a misbegotten guess, alas, bits of broken glass. Where do your golden rainbows end? Why is this song so sad? Dreaming the dreams I've dreamed, my friend. Loving the love I love to love, to love, to love. Thanks very much, everybody. I appreciate it. I've always loved that song. It was a pleasure to take a crack at it this week. And next up, if I think Mike's got control of the spotlight, he might have more control than I do. If I can get Mike to throw the spotlight on to our friend Neil Grossbard from Massachusetts. Welcome, Neil. I think you've got some special music prepared for us tonight.
I have spotted your video for. Okay, thank you very much. I am going to try and sing, if I can find it. Where the hell is it? I've forgotten the name of the song. Okay. Okay, here we go. I hope that it's Impossible Dream. This version is for people who can't sing, so it's not really great for me, but we'll see. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to fight where the brave dare not go, to reach the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to lie when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to fight into hell for that heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to that glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still moved with his last ounce of courage, to reach the unreachable star. Awful. Too bad. But let me get out. Let me get the phlegm out of my system, and maybe I'll be able to sing better. This is as I've told you before, this song created a stir in the South because it was Showboat predicts a relationship between a black man and a white woman, and that didn't go over well in the South at that time. It was 1935, and anyways, when I sang this to a black recently, the version I'm about to sing, he loved the poetry. So I do too. But here we go. This I had recorded. Jennifer can really play. Well, let folk work on the Mississippi. I'll let folk work while the white folk play, pulling them boats from the dawn till sunset. Get no rest till the judgment day. Don't look up and don't look down. You don't estimate the white boss frown. Bow your head and bend your knee and pull that rope until you're dead. Let me go away from the Mississippi. Let me go away from the white man boss. Show me that stream called the River Jordan. That's the old stream that I long to cross. Old Man River, that old man river, he don't say nothing, he must know something, he just keeps rolling, he keeps on rolling along. he don't plant potatoes, he don't plant cotton, and them that plants them are so forgotten. But old man River, he just keeps rolling along. You and me, we sweat and strain, body all aching and racked with pain. Dump that barge, lift that bell, get a little drunk, and you land in jail. Mars get weary, I'm sick of trying, I'm tired of living and scared of dying. But old man River, he just keeps rolling along. That's the song I can sing right, I think.
Thanks so much, Neil. And next up, also from Maryland, we're back to Maryland with sometimes he's 1/4 of Sticky G, but tonight he is 100% Bruce Hendrickson. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you much,
Sometimes
Martin.
sometimes he's only 20% of Sticky G.
Ah,
Yeah. Then we're 25%. Yeah, whatever. Whatever percent we can take, right? Anyway, we may have some gigs coming up soon, I think, like at farmers markets. But anyway, however that goes, I'm going to do one of my own first, and I'm going to go to another one. I call this Morning Walks. Walking early on a weekday morning, my face feeling the gentle breeze. Neighborhood is slowly waking as the sun burns through the trees. Morning walks in early spring as earth comes back to life. Try not to think of families mourning and lands torn apart by strife. A murder of crows are calling me, gathering to pick garbage. Rhythm with peckers are beating like an automatic in range. Children's chalk drawings on sidewalks, hopscotch grids and words misspelled. Pastel colors on fields of gray, the news shows playground shell. Walking early on a weekday morning, my face feeling the gentle breeze. Neighborhood is slowly waking as the sun burns through the trees. Someone's breakfast cooking, the aroma sure to please. The smell of yesterday's landscaping, that scent of cordite on the breeze. The apple falls amid grazing deer, the does calmly show no fear as my footsteps hit the ground, thudding like clear by artillery rounds. Walking away on a weekday morning, my face feeling the gentle breeze. The neighborhood is slowly waking as the sun burns through the trees. Morning walks in early spring as earth comes back to life. Try not to think the family's mourning and lands torn apart by strife. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to do a mirror. I was feeling a little bit religious this past weekend, and so I decided to try and work on a Maren Morris song. She talks about her church, which is an interesting church. Let's take a do this over here again. Excuse me a minute here. Okay. I've cussed on a Sunday, I've cheated and I've lied, I've fallen down from grace a few too many times. I find holy redemption when I put this car in drive, roll the windows down and turn up the dial. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM. I find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. When Hank brings the sermon, the cash leads the choir, gets my cold heart burning, hotter than a ring of fire. When I wonder what gets heavy, and I need to find my escape, I just keep the wheels rolling, radio scroll, till my sins wash away. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feel the Holy Ghost running through ya when I play the highway FM. I find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feel the Holy Ghost running through you when I play the highway FM. I find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Oh, can I get a hallelujah? Can I get an amen? Feels like the Holy Ghost running through you when I play the highway FM. I find my soul revival, singing every single verse. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Yeah, I guess that's my church. Thank you.
Terrific. Thank you so much there, Bruce. And I'm going to try and put the spotlight on our friend Mike Roki, also in Maryland. Mike, I don't seem to be able to spotlight you unless I'm doing something wrong.
Obviously.
Oh, here we go. I got you. We're
it is.
spotlighting Mike Roki, and take it away.
Okay. So I'm going to start out.
Whoa, a 12 string.
Yes, my 12 string. Actually, the main reason is my 6 string, the G string, the winding is broken, so it buzzes on the G string. But that's all right. This is a good guitar too. So this is a John Denver song, and I picked it because Dan said something about April rains, and so this has got mentions rain. And the background here, this is Paris in the Rain. So. Country girl in Paris, moonlight on the Seine, memories of Tennessee and Nashville in the rain. It's such a contradiction, a heart that's filled with pain. A country girl in Paris, dreaming Nashville in the rain. She walks along the boulevard, Champs-Élysées, thinks about a country boy 3,000 miles away. Pride is such a hard thing, it's such a price to pay. To be all alone in Paris with true love so far away. Up on Montmartre, she stops to rest a while. All the artists look at her and they long to paint her smile. For even in her sorrow, there's something in her eyes. Makes the young man jealous, makes the old man sigh. They say the loss of innocence is always linked to pain. For once the heart is opened, nothing ever is the same. And so the evening lends itself to lovers and romance. The way to heal a broken heart is to give true love just one more chance. A country girl in Paris, moonlight on the Seine, memories of Tennessee and Nashville in the rain. It's such a contradiction, a heart that's filled with pain. A country girl in Paris, dreaming Nashville in the rain. A country girl in Paris, longing for Nashville in the rain. Why, thank you. So here's another one. This one's from Scotland. Yeah, a little, somewhat older song, but it was interesting about a young man who's foolish and leaves his girl behind. An interesting thing about it is I looked up all the towns that are mentioned in this song. He never got about more than 60 miles from home, but it took years for him to get back. So. West winds blow to Cocheville, and with the winds came we. Where the river hugs the wood, blackthorn thorns bloom in May, there stood a single rowan tree. So young and slender, so were you. I loved you both as there you grew. The day I took the road that leads to Rannoch by the sea. We carved our names in Cocheville, the rowan leaves were still, but the darkening west was in your eyes. Despite your kisses and my lies, my thoughts had crossed the hill. I broke your heart as the minutes passed. I shrugged and said that nothing lasts, but many the backward glance I cast as I went north to the drill. The big wheels rumble up and down, the lorries know the way. I waved my hand, I hitched a ride. We crossed the bridge to Rannoch side, where the diesel motors play. Then I set myself to a cliff of stone, my ears to the boring hammers drone. But the ache inside I rued alone, 'cause you were far away. But the money moved from Eric's Lock, and the great Glen beckoned on. At Morriston, the hills grew pale. We fought and drank in old Kintail till our money, it was gone. And I cursed Loch our sides, autumn rain, the winter whiskey in Dunblane, till the west winds rose in the spring again, and my heart let out a song. Then I came at last to Cocheville, with a dozen hills aflame. You had another hand to hold. Beneath the names we carved of old, there was another name. You looked me through, you made no sign. I drank that cup of bitter wine, for well I knew the fault was mine, and I went the road I came. The big wheels rumble up and down, the lorries know the way. I waved my hand, I hitched a ride. We crossed the bridge to Rannochside, where the diesel motors play. Then I set myself to a cliff of stone, my ears to the boring hammer's drone. But the ache inside I rued alone, for you were far away.
And thank you so much, Mike. I'm sorry I'm not fast enough on my applause app to get it out, but the applause or the enthusiasm for your playing is always deeply felt. And it looks like Dan Mack is back to join us. I know you're playing, Dan. I don't know if you're going to host for a while, but I'm going to spotlight you. And welcome back, Dan.
Thank you, and here I am. Yeah, first of all, thanks, my profound thanks to Mike Roque and Gordon Knorr for taking over the hosting duties for me while I do such things as eat a protein bar and get my energy up to be able to come back and do this. Now, one would think that if I were going to take the first half an hour or so off, that I might actually try to practice my songs. But you'd be wrong. So instead, I'm going to try playing a couple tunes that I should know pretty well, and to be able to play through any brain fog that I got. This first one is one that I used to open with at Stonehouse all the time. And speaking of Stonehouse, it looks like when I looked over at the comments here, I'm trying to get on my iPad to see things. It looks like we've got Donata and Lou are watching us. And I know that Donata was with Mike Roque and a couple of other our Stonehouse regulars, Morning Sky, with Rebecca and Dempsey Price. They were playing in Frederick recently, and that's a great act. In case you have not heard Dempsey and Rebecca, you owe it to yourself to try to do it. And I'm not sure if Voices 3, which will also include Jody Morris, I don't know if they are playing around or not, but yeah. Which reminds me though, if anybody's got a gig coming up, if you got stuff that you want to let us know about, there's lots of folks who are still going out and playing, and I applaud that. Wish that I could be out there with you, supporting you. And coming weeks, hopefully I will be able to do that. So
well, Dan Jody was there too.
Oh, Jody was us. That's right. She was there. I saw the pictures. Right.
And I think she posted something that Voices 3 is getting ready to go back into the studio.
Ah, beautiful. Excellent. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to that, because that's a fun thing to hear. So if anybody else here, if you guys are doing anything in the studio, or if you got any gigs coming up or T-shirts to sell, whatever, let us know. Put it on the Dan Mack Presents Facebook page so that we all know. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and play a couple tunes that we'll see if I still know them. Hopefully I do. One I wrote years and years and years ago that a friend of mine always thought that somebody famous should have written it, but instead it was just me. So I guess that's a compliment from him. I like the way you look. I like the way you cook. I like the way you do what you do when you do what you're doing to me. I like the way you jive. I like the way you drive. I like the way you do what you do when you do what you're doing to me. You got a brand new kind of action that thrills me to my soul, but too much satisfaction, they're gonna make me lose control. I like the way you grin when you invite me in. I like the way you do what you do when you do what you're doing to me. You got a brand new kind of action. It thrills me to my soul. But too much satisfaction about to make me lose control. I like the way you cruise, the way you never lose. I like the way you do what you do when you do what you're doing. Sweet baby, won't you keep on doing what you're doing to me? Thank you. Thank you muchly. And this next one, I find this one hard to play now. And the reason why, it's not because it's not a good song, because I think it's a pretty good song, but it's because I have requested and gotten Matt Holson involved with this song. And he's written some horn parts for it that are just dynamite and got an organ on there. So now I hear now in my head the full bass, drums, organ, and horns with this tune, and it's just when I play it by myself, it just seems so
Yeah, but
pusillanimous.
you really don't want all those guys in your living room.
Well, that's true. That's true. But for those of you who are not familiar with Matt's work in orchestration and arranging, you need to hear about it, because he's a real pro at this stuff. He does a great job. The work that he has done for me on a couple of my tunes so far just makes me wish that I had started doing this years ago and gotten more of it out of him. So, but
And if you don't actually have any brass on site, doesn't matter, he'll do it.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket. And it sounds, you wouldn't be able to tell. It sounds, because
Yeah,
the
no
parts
actual
that are,
musicians were harmed.
yeah, no actual musicians were harmed, right? Yeah,
With the vocal horn, there's no spit, you know?
there you go. I would have a lake full of spit on my floor here with those guys if they were really here. Anyway, so one of these days you will hear some versions of my tunes with more than you have heard them before. And if you don't like it, then too bad, because I love it. And thanks again, Matt, for helping me out with that stuff, and look forward to hearing the next stuff. And Matt will be, of course, playing here at the end of the night tonight. So this is a tune called Beautiful World. My mama told me not to play with fire for fear I might get burned. But a woman's just like a book of matches. You think by now I'd learn this was no accidental conflagration. It was arson in the first degree. If I knew then what I know now, what a beautiful world this would be. Now you might not see the smoke and ashes from burning hopes and dreams, 'cause love is just a cruel illusion. Nothing's what it seems. Guess I should have seen it coming, should have run when I felt the heat. If I knew then what I know now, what a beautiful world this would be. I tried in vain to stop these flames that keep raging in my heart. But every time I see her face, another fire starts. So now I sit alone and wonder what's gonna happen now. 'Cause there's nobody here to help me cool my fevered brow. And she's out lighting up a fire with some other fool like me. If I knew then what I know now, what a beautiful world this would be. Beautiful world this would be. Thank you. Thank you very much, friends. I appreciate that. You just wait till you hear it with all the orchestration. It'll be.
Wow.
So, moving right along here, it is time for us to bring on board Mr. Larry Johansson, our fingerstyle maestro, whom I always love to hear.
Don't forget your commercials, Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to give my commercial after Larry.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, because we have somebody better than me. All right, so here we go. Replace spotlight. There we go, Mr. Larry. So
Oh,
there we go. So Larry, and you're going to be going to Swannanoa and doing a class with Clive, right?
actually, I'm planning on doing all three of Clive's classes.
Ah, great.
I first met him in Milwaukee when he was doing a thing at the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee at their fingerstyle guitar program. And I'll have to say he's one of the first fingerstyle guitar players who played a song, and I bust out laughing listening to this fingerstyle thing. And he does that with some of his songs. That does things musically that are sort of like, huh? So anyway, but cycling back around, this next song I'm going to play, I've done it before. See if you recognize it. It was a bucket list song. I think Gordon said there was a song that he took him 40 years before he got around to learning it. Well, I think this one probably took me at least 50 years before I got around to learning it. And I'll let you guess what it is, and if you can't figure it out, I'll tell you after I get done with it. So here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, anybody guess what that
Yeah, it's a water song.
was? No, close, but right composer, wrong song.
That was Yorma. Was it Embryonic
Oh,
Journey?
Embryonic
oh,
Journey, right
Embryonic
off
Journey.
the.
Sorry.
That's okay. Water song is pretty darn
No,
close, but yeah, it
I
was
was pretty
Jorma.
high at the time I first listened to that. So
Yeah, and slight variation. I did a little bit more of a swing beat to it than he usually does. He usually does it straight time,
right.
but I don't know. It lends itself to that very nicely. So, anyway, Embryonic Journey, right before White Rabbit on the Surrealistic Pillow album from I think 1968, somewhere back then.
Say, Larry, just in case you weren't aware of this, Yorma does a guitar camp too called
Oh yeah,
Fur Peace Ranch. A friend of mine went there. I've never been, but he said it was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it would be, actually. I've seen, he's done a lot of YouTube recordings of stuff over the years. So, yeah, definitely a lot. Okay, next song. This one also goes back, I'm not sure if this was the 60s or early 70s. There's a YouTube recording of this with a very young Bruce Coburn, who plays this thing at about 1,000 miles an hour, faster than I can play it. But it's a really fun song. It's kind of unusual for a guitar song. I switched guitars because I didn't want to have to make you sit through me retuning the guitar. This is C, G, C, G, C, E. Okay, really unusual tuning. But the song is called Foxglove and it's a lot of fun. Fun piece. Thank you.
Excellent. And now you guys see why I wanted to wait until now to do my ad. Had to have something really good happen beforehand. So now it is time for me to share the screen and to tell you all the ways that you can help support the open mic here, should you care to do so. And basically, it's by giving me money. And this is how you can do it. You can find my email address, Dan@DanMackMusic, pay size, PayPal, Venmo, or Zelle. And obviously, any contributions you can make would be great. This is not a free service. I do this for free, but I have to pay people to help me out, like Verizon and Dropbox and Zoom and all that stuff. So any any assistance we can get from our listening audience is really appreciated. And really, I'm hoping that the listeners out there would be the ones to help out, because it doesn't seem fair to ask the performers to pay to play, although they continue to do it anyway, which I certainly appreciate. So anyway, that's how you do it. And I will stop the share and pretend that I'm not an NPR host now and go back to being an open mic host. And now it is time for us to bring up Mr. Mike Rawson, who, for those of you who don't know this, Mike is not only an excellent musician, he's also quite an accomplished comedian and blends the two together many a times. I don't know if you're going to do that tonight, Mike, but we'll look forward to whatever it is your offering is this evening.
Well, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say. I didn't know that myself, but I'll take your word for it. Thank you very much. People do look at me funny a lot, so I guess that counts for something.
I think that's because you're only 8 inches tall.
Yeah, no, I just got giant hyper daisies growing all around me. I was singing Daisy, Daisy. Whoa. I'm going to be semi-serious and semi-comical. My second number will be the lighter-hearted thing. You see parakeets flying around in here? This one, though, is perfectly serious, and it's by one of my favorite songwriters in the whole world, Mr. Paul Simon. This was featured in The Graduate, and if you don't know this song, where you been for the last 50 years? I'm going to do no justice to it, but I'll do my best. April, come she will, when springs are ripe and swelled with rain. May she will stay, resting in my arms again. June, she'll change her tune. In restless walks she'll prowl the night. July, she will fly and give no warning to her flight. Die she must. Autumn winds blow chilly and cold. September I'll remember. A love that once was new has now grown old. Oh well, punched that one up real good. Yeah, I got all this daisy dust all over my fingers. I don't know what's wrong with it. Anyway, this one's one of mine, and co-authored with my dear departed partner in comedy crime, Mr. Skinbeard, Skinbeard the Sailor III, Ph.D. And we wrote this song together, got a lot of mileage out of it back in the 80s and early 90s. And God bless Carole King. And my apologies to her. Everybody's doing a brand new step now. Come on, baby, do the lack of motion. Don't need no energy, it don't take no pep now. Come on, baby, do the lack of motion. Never been a dance before to give you this thrill. The only dance that you can do by standing still. So come on and do the lack of motion with me. You got to stand right there now. Ooh, come on, baby. Freeze up, don't move. Well, now I think you're in the groove. Whoa, whoa, if you wanna tap your toes, don't let me catch you. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Keep your cool and strike a pose and stand like a statue. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. You don't need to break dance, you don't need the freak, 'cause you can do the locomotion fast asleep. So come on and do the locomotion with me. You got to stand right there now. Ooh, come on, baby. Freeze up, don't move. Well, now I think you're in the groove. Whoa, whoa, all of you non-dancers, get up on the floor now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Pretend that you're a dummy in a department store now. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Might as well do this dance, don't you see? You're gonna wind up doing it posthumously. So come on and do the locomotion with me. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. And paid. Thank you very much. As a musician, I'm pretty funny, and as a comedian, well, I don't know.
Oh, that was great. I don't remember hearing that one before. Have you played it for us before, and I just don't remember?
I thought I might have, but then again, I'm not sure.
No, that was great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well,
We even had that covered by another group, a local group called the Pheromones. They used
Oh
to,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Alvin Pheromone, yeah.
Yeah, Albus and Jimmy. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, good
that-
guys.
That's a good tune. I hope that Carol gets to hear it sometime.
I would hope so.
I think she would get a kick out of that.
One of Mark and my dream, Mr. Skinbeard's dream, was to somehow, back then it was a lot more difficult than it would be today, but to send our Johnny Cash Flying Saucer song to him.
Right.
But unfortunately, he met his maker before we could ever get a chance to do it.
Right.
But anyway.
Well, thanks again, Mike. Lots of
Thank
fun
you all.
stuff. And it is now time for us to turn the spotlight on to Mr. Rob Fickey, who we always get compliments on your golden voice, Rob. You know that. So just want to let you know that we're all ready to hear some more. So take it away.
So this is a song that popped into my head a few weeks ago, and it just wouldn't go away. So I figured I better really learn it for open mic here, with apologies to Billy Taylor and Nina Simone. I wish I knew how it would feel to be free. I wish I could break all these chains holding me. I wish I could say all the things I should say. Say 'em loud, say 'em clear, for the whole wide world to hear. I wish I could share all the love in my heart. Remove all the bars that still keep us apart. I wish you could know what it means to be me. Then you'd see and agree every man must be free. I wish I could give all I'm longing to give. I wish I could live like I'm longing to live. I wish I could do all the things I know I can do. Though I'm way overdue, I'd be starting anew. I wish I could be like a bird in the sky. How sweet it would be if I found I could fly. I'd soar to the sun and look down at the sea, and I'd sing 'cause I know how it feels to be free. Yes, I'd sing 'cause I know how it feels to be free. Thank you, thank you.
So, Rob, where are you going to be at the end of the month?
So we are doing two things. I think, Mike, you probably have a better handle on the dates and other things, but we're going to be doing a farmer's market called Milk Lady in Durwood. And then we're going to be doing the Rockville Science Fair. But Mike, you've got the exact dates for those.
That's Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and 23rd.
So
You should all come down to Rockville Science Day. It's a lot of fun.
in Milk Lady, the farmers market, that's a small one, off of Redland Road. It's a great group of farmers and craftsmen. So, come on out there as well. It starts at 9, goes to 1. I can never remember whether this song was done by Tom Paxton or Phil Oakes. Sit by my side, come as close as the air, sharing a memory of gray, and wonder in my words, and dream about the pictures that I play of changes. Green leaves of summer turn red in the fall, to brown and to yellow they fade, and then they have to die, trapped within the circle time parade of changes. Moments of magic will glow in the night. All fears of the forest are gone, but when the morning breaks, we're swept away by golden drops of dawn of changes. Passions will part to a warm melody, as fires will sometime burn cold like petals in the wind. We're puppets to the silver strings of souls of changes. Your tears will be trembling, now we're somewhere else. One last cup of wine we will pour. I'll kiss you one more time and leave you on the rolling river shore of changes.
Yes, Rob, that's a Phil Oakes song.
A Phil Oakes song, okay.
But Tom Paxton did cover it. In fact, he covered a whole album of Phil Oakes songs.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Maybe that's why I confused them.
Maybe.
Just as a side note here, I'm looking at my iPad with the volume off because it's not in sync with anything. And it's spelled Phil Oakes. Phil was correct, but Oakes was O-A-K-S-E and not O-H-C. So I guess spell check doesn't know about Phil, but it knows about trees. So. Anyway, so now it is my distinct pleasure to turn the stage over to Mr. Rob Gould, who now we can refer to him as our whammy finalist when he comes on. That must have been a lot of fun to go to the show and to be selected as a finalist, Rob. So I congratulate you on your journey there and all the stuff that happened with that. So your your stuff is definitely good enough to it's obviously Whammy material, or you wouldn't be there. So thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to try to? Oh, there I am. Hey, yeah. Thanks. It was. It's a wonderful. Everything is so wonderful experience with music, and the idea that folks were listening to the songs and liking them, and just really was wonderful. And so no, it's all good. The Whammy award ceremony, though I did not win a Whammy, I got a real education about award ceremonies and what people wear to those things, which is pretty amazing in itself. And there are all kinds of different kinds of music, and it was just a fascinating experience. My favorite part of it was a young performer got the Young Performer of the Year award. I think she was right in front of me when the award was announced, and she and her two best friends jumped up and screamed, as soon as the names were announced, and it just like almost went into a shock. It was just amazing to see them so excited. And then she walked up and did her, a very professional acceptance speech in which she thanked her agent, going, wow, 16, there's a whole other world out there in terms of how serious people are about their music. So anyway, a couple of things to note. One is that I had a chance to do a gig with, and it was a showcase with me and Michelle Murray and Empty Ecstasy, which is Mike and Shauna Taylor. So it was a lovely group of people to perform with. But what made me want to tell you about it really was how much it gave me a chance, because Jeff Karn showed up. And Dan, you will know this really well, that when I had people like Donata and Jody, or Michelle and Jeff singing some of my songs, and in particular, Let Me Know, which, if Donata, if you're still on, I'm still hoping you're going to be covering that on your album that you're making. But it was just such a what you were talking about, Dan, was how much you now hear the harmonies or the background vocals or the horns or whatever, the arranged version. And it's really hard to play the songs without missing those elements. And so I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm trying to play songs that are pretty much just me, me and my guitar, even when I play them out. And to that, I will. These two songs sort of fit within Gordon's comment that when he was writing songs, he was writing about his college days and writing about unrequited love, which is especially for my early tunes, was a specialty of mine. So I'll play a couple of those kind of unhappy love songs that I started out writing, and this one's called The Last Time. Well, now it's come to this. You say you want me, and the past is dead and gone, and you're still mine. So I'll repair my broken heart again. But honey, that's the last time. Now your smile still warms my heart, and your lips still thrill me, and your eyes still pierce the dark of my lonely nights. Oh, but baby, if you ever leave again, well, honey, that's the last time. Oh, don't you see what you do? It cuts right through my soul. Now, I know you can't foretell your future feelings, but I hope my lament will give you pause. If you're playing the game of love only to win, well, honey, that's the last time. If you're playing the game of love only to win, well, honey, that's the last time.
Songwriter is very good.
That's almost as good as that phony applause. I appreciate that. That's great. Thanks. Um, um, thanks, thanks, Gordon. So since you like that one, Gordon, I'll do. This is the total abyss of of breakup songs. It's called Everything. Well, you can take my money, you can take my car, and you can take my clothes and leave me naked. You can take it all, everything you see. Don't take my baby away from me. Well, I ain't got much, but it's all yours. Go on, take this ring right off my fingers. And hit the road with all good speed. Don't take my baby away from me. Without her, things don't matter. With her, I got everything I need. can take my mind and my few charms, and you can take my pride for all it's done me. And throw them all into the raging seas. Don't take my baby away from me. Don't take my baby away from me. Oh,
Rob, you made my baby cry.
I love the baby crying part. I mean, I'm breaking into new territory right there.
Right.
Put that
Well,
on my musical resume now. Thanks.
I have to tell you that my audience in the can was broken on that last tune, so I didn't get a chance to. It was my mouse and my backup mouse both failed. So,
No, yeah, it's okay.
so here's a little bit of extra for that last tune.
You know, I was in PR, so like, I know.
Tried to actual clap and hit the space bar, but it's the sound of one hand clapping. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Thank you. By the way, now, since I got this, Mike, that Lack of Motion song, that's a winner. That's a winner. And it's so fitting now with my stage of life, the kind of dancing I do.
I never was a dancer, so that's my little way of protest, I guess. I don't know. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, and I just realized after we had been talking about the Whammies all this time that those of us who are not DC residents may have no clue what that's all about. The Whammy is the Washington Area Music Awards, so it's our local version of the Grammys. So being part of it is a pretty big deal.
Well, it's
So
all over now till the next time.
it's all over now till next time. Right.
Got to get those new songs to submit for the next round. So
Right.
I'm working on it. I'll introduce them here.
Okay, great. Well, we would be honored.
New songs. My, that's work.
Speaking of new songs, let's bring on a man who writes is about as prolific as I am. One new song a decade or two, or so. Actually, more than that. There was a while there that you were.
Actually, this last decade, I've had 3.
Ah, okay.
No, wait a minute, 4.
You did a whole bunch of them there for a while because there was the whole thing about the Trump coming down from the towers and Icarus, and there were several of them right around in that period. So, and I remember them well.
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and so for those of you who don't know Mr. Matt Holson, the best thing about him is that he does play another Santa Cruz guitar, which then makes the fact that I play a Santa Cruz guitar, it validates my thinking. So validates my choices. But because if Matt's got to do it, then you got to know it's
really,
good.
really nice guitars.
And thanks again for all the work you're doing for me, Matt. And be sure to also, Matt does have, tell them about how to get to The Horizon on Spotify and everywhere else. So, because you got, that album is out there. It's easier for me to go to Spotify and listen to it than it is for me to put it in my CD player. So that's what happens.
The curious thing, though, is also on my Spotify are some things that were put there by a production music library. And these are things that I submitted, and they say, "Oh, can we put these on your Spotify?" Sure, and they're totally different. They're very strange. They're like 1950s TV commercial music, and so if you like that. And by the way, they get a lot more streams than my songs.
That's funny. They're cool. I've listened to them. What do you got for us tonight?
So let's see.
Before you start up, Dan, I don't think your setup is quite right. You're getting a bit some distortion there.
Oh, hold on. How's that? Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
How is it?
That's good.
It's good?
That's good.
Okay. That's something I learned from Rob. I'm using the fancy interface, and you got to set the what is it? The ASIO buffer size to a low number. So I guess I'll do Icarus. It's one of the songs from this decade. And this song has actually it kept its keep, I guess is the word. Because once I played it at an open mic, and it grabbed the attention of somebody else who was attending the open mic, who is now my wife. Maybe some sailor looked up just then and saw you fall out of the sky, and then the sky was empty again, and all he could see where you'd fallen in was bits of wax and feathers. Nothing to do here. He's dead. Let's go and pray we make it home alive. So much to fear above and below. The gods have their games, we don't need to know. Just mind the tides and the weather. How could he know as he steered away that we'd still be telling how you disobeyed, that you'd live forever 'cause you died that day back in dream time. Though the sky is tame now and the sun is far, and we look down through eyes that we've hung from the stars. Little gods in our pockets tell us just where we are at all times. Still the soul is made of stories, and sooner or later in dreams they'll come, those voices telling us to fly. And so we fly too close to the sun till sense melts away and fact comes undone, and we fall forever. course, for when I put that on a CD, I had a 17-piece big band with it. So, oh my. Let's see. Any requests?
You pick.
Okay,
I always request the same song if nobody else is going to weigh in.
What's that one?
Scotch and soda.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. I think this will be the first time I've finger picked this one. Yeah. Scotch and soda, mud in your eye. Baby, do I feel high? Oh, me, oh, my. Do I feel high? Dry martini, jiggery gin. Oh, what a spell you've got me in. Oh, my. Do I feel high? People won't believe me. Think that I'm just bragging, but I could feel the way I do and still be on the wagon. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes. Oh, me, oh, my. Do I feel higher than a kite can fly? Give me lovin', baby. I feel high. People won't believe me. They'll think that I'm just bragging, but I could feel the way I do and still be on the wagon. All I need is one of your smiles, sunshine of your eyes. Oh, me, oh, my. Do I feel higher than a kite can fly? Give me lovin', baby. I feel high.
Yeah.
that's kind of a curiosity too, because it's an actual anonymous song. Nobody knows who wrote it.
Wow.
Right? You know that story, don't you, Mike?
No.
I thought you told. Oh, well.
Go ahead and tell it. It's a
That's-
great
that's
Yeah,
not a folk song.
Dave Guard, who was a member of the Kingston Trio, and I think sang lead on that song. He was, I think, engaged to a woman whose parents played he was at dinner at her parents' house, and they gave him this sheet music and said, "Oh, can you play this? This is something that we heard when we were on our honeymoon, 25, 30 years ago." And we loved it, and we asked the guy to write it out for us. So this pianist somewhere in a piano bar just wrote it out for them. They didn't remember his name. They never knew who wrote the song. And so Dave Guard said, "That's okay. It's a great song. I'll figure out who wrote it and we'll record it." Well, he couldn't. There was no record of it. Nobody had registered it for copyright. Nobody could figure out who it was. So being the kind of Boy Scout that Dave Guard was, he registered it as anonymous with the pen name Dave Guard. And
Yeah, cool.
he put all the money in a trust. Where it probably sits to this day, unless it's like reverted to the treasury or something.
Right. That's a cool story.
Yeah. So you can do that as a trivia question. It says, "Anybody know who wrote this song?" One syllable answer.
I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't hear that story, because I discovered I knew their agent. I had never known. She was a member of my church. And
Really?
one day she was asking me about, says, I need some place to take all this stuff. I've got these records and posters and stuff like that. It's like, come to discover she has this huge collection of Kingston Trio memorabilia. And I thought,
wow.
man, yeah, her entire
Somebody
house
will
is-
want to do.
her entire house was filled with that. It was like, finally come to realize, it's like she was their agent here in the U.S. and I'd never known.
Oh wow.
She'd tell me all these things about them and stuff like that. Tom O'Donnell, I don't know if some of you guys know them. He's got a home in West Virginia, but he spends most of his time in England. He knew her as well. He ended up helping her.
Yeah,
take
I
care of
remember
stuff.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So they found somebody who wanted to catalog and preserve.
Yeah, at
these
first I
things?
thought it was, oh well, maybe the library would take some of this stuff, and then I realized that this was like 2,000
It's a
square
specific
feet.
archive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think Mary Cliff has like 50 years worth of albums and CDs, and she gets a few every week, literally.
Yeah.
And apparently she's never thrown them out. And she says someday somebody's going to want to look through this, but not me and not now. I think she told me that her father died some 20 some years ago, or maybe more, and she was considering moving into his house, but the structural engineer said, "Well, you're going to have to finish the basement because the house won't hold all your CDs and albums.
Yeah.
It's just too much weight."
That's pretty incredible that you
Yeah.
can't
So
put
she
it all
stayed
on the
in her
floor.
little
Yeah.
townhouse in Falls Church.
That's amazing. Well, what a fun night, friends. Not only do we get great music, we get educated as well. That's great stuff. Thanks again, Matt, and especially for not only your excellent work tonight, but for all the stuff you've been doing for me and over the years for everybody else. So
Well, thank you.
please, if you need orchestration arrangements or compositions of any kind, that's the guy right there. So,
Orchestrations are us.
right. Yeah.
Oh, I will say, so the thing is Tuesday next week is an open jam at True Respite Brewery in Rockville, but I'm going to be out of town, so. But I expect the weather's going to be good, so everybody can be outside under the tent.
Oh.
So just get out and play together. That's the whole idea.
Okay, sounds good. All right, friends. Well, it's time for us to say goodnight, farewell till next time. Next time will be April the 17th, it looks like. So hopefully everything will be hunky-dory then, and we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Stay safe
night.
out there, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for a great night, everybody, and thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you all.
Thanks, Dan.
Good night.
Good night, all. Thank you.